Shalom. Shalom. I first like to begin the lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. The belonging to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, once again, which telling the truth through the spirit and the fire of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. The belonging to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, which telling the truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And as always, peace and salutation to the brothers out there pushing this truth, the 1% truth out there on the house and the byways, and this shalom to the sisters out there. Aquas to you also. I say shalom is your brother Christ. I go back with another lesson through the spirit. Just want to come to y'all something a little willing edifying. Trying to walk off this heaviness on my stomach, man. And just finished doing a workout. Uh Health is wealth, man. You know, just gotta take care of yourself in these times that we in. And I'm saying that because I just just start back working out again, but nonetheless, still doing small movements here and there, you know. Uh Nonetheless though, just wanted to play this video as I mentioned in my lesson yesterday. Had a few clips that I was gonna go over. And another one, maybe across my page, man. I know we keep saying the same things, but as a prophet, you find yourself repeating a lot of things you said once before because it's relevant and it's true in the times that we're in, man. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this and let the video speak for itself, man. So without further ado, once again, Lord, let it be edifying. And as always, fair use, fair use. This video is not monetized. I'm not making any type of money off this. It's not for monetary gain. It is for educational purposes only. So with that being said, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and play these two clips for y'all.
You're going to have to start sharing. Did y'all hear me? Okay? You're going to have to share. Share. You either are going to play, be a part of it knowingly, or you're going to be a part of it unknowingly. So you have to choose, sisters, which role you want to play. But you're going to have to share.
Of course, fucking always, bro. Always at the right fucking moment, this shit pops up. So like it, bro. Shit just blew me, man. Yeah.
You're going to have to start sharing. Did y'all hear me? Okay? You're going to have to share. Share. You either are going to play, be a part of it knowingly, or you're going to be a part of it unknowingly. So you have to choose, sisters, which role you want to play. But you're going to have to share. Share. I'm talking to the black family, the divine black family. You're going to have to consider sharing, family. You really are. Okay.
So that's the first one. And then the second lady, she goes into it as well. I'll just say my comments till both these videos are finished.
So this is going to be very controversial, especially to the woman, but hear me out till the end. Just listen. A lot of you women are suffering over a cheating because you truly wish to, because you develop this idea and this illusion about what loyalty means to a man. But let's get to the reality of, first of all, that men are hunters. Second of all, in many, many books across many religions, men always had multiple wives. Let's use the Holy Bible, for example. In the Old Testament, men like Moses, men like David, King Saul, I mean, the list goes on, always had multiple wives. It was always a polygamous type of relationship and marriage that existed. And
That's a lucky. I know I said I was gonna wait to the end. Well, I just have to correct her. Polygynist, because polygamy is open. You know what I'm saying? A woman or a man can have multiple partners, and that's not what the scriptures call for. A woman is only supposed to be appointed to one man, or
So I was reflecting on
in certain instances, of course.
this the other day in the reality that there are men who may be cheater and may be out there with different women, but they always have the one. That one always has the advantage of having a roof over their head, of having their responsibilities being met, of different things happening for them that typically that man will not do for those other women that he's out and about fooling around with. So that goes to say, if you are in a relationship with a man who is being a provider, providing you with emotional stability, mental stability, physical stability, and just providing overall, to him, he's being loyal. Most women think that loyalty means you being the only one. You being the only one that he is intimate with, spending time with, giving quality time to, doing things for, etc., etc. But that's not really how it works in the man world. I mean, like I said, even many books across all religions talk about the reality of men being polygamous. So why are you destroying yourself and suffering under the illusion that you are the only one? Especially when you can begin to understand that love that is unconditional means non-attachment. He don't belong to you. You don't belong to him. Y'all are here to share an experience. So this is going to be very controversial. So this is going to be very
Anyways, just fell upon a coon ass nigga. But yeah, man, you know, seeing more and more videos like this, Lord's just putting that spirit throughout because actually preparing these sisters for what's about to come another way. They're gonna have to be sister wives whether they like it or not. You know, they don't have a choice. And there's multiple factors that goes into it, man. It's not just uh which is how you know women, man, they're hypersexual, a lot of them. They're so focused on sex. They crave attention from multiple men. You don't really have men out here who are fully set on women, right? Unless they're fucking have no money. You know, those are the niggas that get the most hoes are the broke niggas. Cause that's all they have to focus on. They don't have to focus on making no paper or have no real responsibilities for real. So that's all they have to focus on is getting hoes. But you don't really have no man who's just out here seeking attention from women, bro. Uh Most men are focused on their craft, whatever they dedicated to, you know what I'm saying? Or they are really just trying to get paper. But other than that, like you really don't have no men that's just like out here focused on getting women for real, because most men know that that shit is a waste of time anyways. Women be the ones who crave attention from multiple men, you know what I'm saying, who want to actively have multiple partners and stuff like that. So when they hear that a man is able to have multiple women, they they tend to frown upon it because they thinking that in a woman's perspective, they expecting a man to just go out here and want to have sex with a whole bunch of women, and that's never what the purpose of men having multiple wives was for, you know, sister wife, because a woman is naturally her natural God given ability was to be a helpmate, you know. So it never was about Shalaka. Shalaka. It never was about, you know what I'm saying, sex and whatnot. Of course, we're supposed to reproduce and multiply, be fruitful and multiply, Shalaka. But Never was about hitting a whole bunch of women. Or it says Genesis 2:17, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in that day, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. Right. So once again, sin was brought in through the woman, and through her we all die. People would rather choose death than to follow after uh the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shem Shah. Verse 18, and Yahweh, the Most High Power said, it is not good that the man should be done. Somebody should be alone. I will make him a help meet for him, you know. I will make a helper who is just right for him, right? Which is the woman. Why do you think uh women back in those times were called maids, you know? Because they provided service for their man, you know. It's nothing wrong with that. That's what they position, that's what they God given position was, you know, just like a man. He's supposed to provide, protect for his woman, you know, because that's his property, that's his possession, you know. One who gaineth a wife getteth a possession, you know, and it's beautiful to get a, a loving and a caring woman, man. That's a blessing from your how about Shimei Shah, you know. So it's nothing wrong with that. But this kingdom and society that we're in, man, have made it to where these natural roles that the Lord gave us are to be looked at as being oppressive positions are to be frowned upon. And they tell you you can be whatever the hell you want to be. But once you do that, that's when the floodgates of hell come into your life. Once you leave, you know what I'm saying, you're the roles that the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah gave you as a human being, then that's when, you know what I'm saying, you start to have troubles in the flesh and whatnot. But when we was following after those ways, we had everything good for us. You know, now that the prophets are on the scene, we're coming back into that realization that people are trying to get their people to turn back to those ways, you know, which is what our job is. So let me get to it says Ecclesiastes 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. You know, that's beautiful, man. You know, so it's not something to be frowned upon to have a wife. Like I said, you may have a wife. I always go to this example. You might have a wife who's really good at cooking for the family. At the end of the day, this is about building a family, man. You know, especially in these times that we're in now, it's getting harder and harder to live by yourself. You literally have women out here who are sleeping in their cars, who are homeless, some who are begging to have a man. You know, why wouldn't it make sense to build a team? Now, of course, in this society, they're trying to make it impossible to do that and actually try and ban it in certain places. Really here. That's why you have to sign that contractual agreement, you know, because they want to make life harder on you. But just imagine, y'all got jobs, y'all putting y'all assets together, you know, y'all incomes together. You know how much easier life will be? You have a woman that cooks for you. You have a woman that cooks for the family. You have a woman that take care of the children for the family. You have a woman that is really good in the garden and plants she plants the fruits and the vegetables and whatnot. You have a woman that's really good in the medicinal field. She is good with the herbs and medicines, right? They don't want to see that though, bro. You know? You know why? Because if that was the case, you have stuff like this going on. And I should have brought this out earlier, but it's fine. I really don't give a fuck if they see my Instagram. But once you have stuff like that going on, you saw them already knows they wouldn't be getting no women. So that's why they can't. That's why they can't have that going on. That's why they got laws to stop shit like this from happening. That's why when they brought us over in slavery, you know, they used to cut our rods off, hide us from their women, all such stuff, because their women used to crave after us. You know, if you look at the Elder Rod Gabor video, he made about this like that was last month. He made that going back into the historical facts when it came to the women the Edomite women, the type of desire they have for us. And that shit is coming back on the earth. That's why Esau Edom is so scared, bro, because they population is dwindling. But that's why the Lord said he was gonna destroy the name and the remnant, the sons, you know what I'm saying, the nephews, all of that stuff. He's gonna delete all Edomite men, so the house of Esau wouldn't be in remembrance no more. Let me get this. Baba Shah. Now, I believe this woman to be a Jacob woman, but nonetheless, just bring forth my example of I was about to say the Edomite man. The Jake man is the most desired amongst the nations, bro, and that's a fact. It's undeniable fact right there. The Lord just we are we're them ones, bro. It's undeniable. We're them ones. You can't deny it.
Yo, I wanna believe that fucking America's poisoning the food and shit, but have y'all seen their black men? Like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, what the fuck, bro? We don't have that shit in Canada. Them men, they don't be looking like that. Like, what the fuck? Especially the southern man. Southern man, different fucking level. The southern black, okay, okay. Like, shit. What the fuck?
No, they crave us, bro. Like I said, I believe her to be. She's mixed with the most likely Northern Kingdom or I really say Southern Kingdom because she got the curly hair, light skin, the spirit. But yeah, man, if they didn't put those laws into place to where you have to be one woman and one man, bro, Esau Edom wouldn't have no women, bro. It's just plain and simple. They wouldn't have no women, bro. I wonder if I could fish in this little pond they got. But nonetheless, though, they wouldn't have no women, bro, because they're the basis of men. You know, they're the closest thing to wild animals roaming around in the human population. So, nonetheless, though, let me get back into the scriptures. Let me read that again. Ecclesiastes 36:24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, and a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. What your woman's supposed to bring you peace, bro. And these women don't understand that now because unfortunately they have all types of bad, what's the word I'm looking for? You can say bad advice or bad leaders, bad role models. There we go. That's pretty much bringing them up in the incorrect way, you know, not teaching them how to be mothers, bring peace to their man, be a helpmate. What they don't understand also is that they become closer to the Most High Power when they do that, because they serving their master while we serve our master, you know? And I'm talking about the brothers. Let me see if I can find it. What makes a woman beautiful to the Lord? I feel like it's in the Apocrypha, but I can't remember honestly. It might be Titus 2:1. It must be in the, I must be thinking of it in the NLT. It could be just a different translation. Uh, maybe in the good news. I don't know. But very soon, man, it's just that's what's gonna be the gold standard, That's what's gonna make Shalaki have to get away from distractions. The damn devil is trying to tell me, Shalaki, damn fuck it. And when I mean the devil, I mean Esau, Edom, and the spiritual demon Satan. But you know, and these older women must train the younger women to love their husbands and their children, to live wisely and be pure, to work in their homes, to do good, and to be submissive to their husbands. Then will then they will not bring shame. Then they will not bring shame on the word of the Most High Power. It's definitely a scripture in there though that says like this is what makes women beautiful to the Lord is when they I can't remember where it says Salakia, bro, brothers. But let me get this real quick. And I can even get Ecclesiastes, I want to say it's the sixth chapter. Ecclesiastes 26. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. You know? So as we get closer to these end times, these women are more and more gonna fall in line whether they like it or not. I can recall telling these women when I first came into the truth, or when I was first real fresh in the faith, you could say, which I'm still a babe, but real so like I gotta keep I'm gonna go this way. Real young in the faith. I'm telling you, there's gonna be a coming from the change. Yeah. It's gonna be Isaiah 4:1. 7 women and 1 man. Just that's a number of completion, of course. 7 women and 1 man. But y'all gonna men are gonna have multiple women, man. Of the Lord. Right? And I can recall women that I was dealing with saying at the time, I'm not gonna be nobody multiple wife. I said, okay. And I mean that's on you. They're not you just gonna die in Jacob's trouble or before then, you know? That doesn't hurt me. I already know that the Lord willing, I'll be that number is gonna appoint me with some wives in that time when shit hits the fan. Because Baba Shah, Aparatazah, I'm holding up my end of the bargain. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the will of Yahweh Hashem Shah. So I already know that's just gonna be a part of it. And that's not even the main focus. Brothers don't give a fuck about these hoes, you know? We don't care about getting women, bro. We care about getting the message across and spreading the word, the gospel, and waking up the elect of the house of Israel so we can get the hell up out of here. That's what we care about. We care about salvation. The women come later. That shit is in the back of our mind, bro. That's the least of what we gonna get. The hell? That shit is like I said, man, men don't be thinking about pussy as well, Salagi, I shouldn't say that. Men don't be thinking about sex like how women do. Like, of course, men are horny, but we don't have to have that shit all the time, bro. If you a real man, you able to refrain from that shit. You know, you able to go a while without it. You don't need the pleasure of a woman all the time. That's just a part of growing and becoming a man, you know. I've learned that through this truth. So once a woman does come around, your ass don't run out of your wits on the behalf of a woman. Your ass don't give your strength to these hoes like these weak, simp ass, tender ass niggas. It says a good wife is a good portion. Salaki, verse 2. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. You know, it's supposed to bring you peace. If you can't bring peace to my life, I don't want you around me. You know, if you just causing hell to my life all the time, what's the point of you being around? Because I already am at peace when I'm by myself. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord, right? So I really believe this, man. The Lord is about to start blessing brothers with women, bro. Not no damn demons, but real women, you know, women. And I'm saying that in quotations. because of course they're not gonna be right for real till we get to Jacob's trouble. But in preparation of that, the Lord's gonna start bringing brothers wives that's most likely gonna be safe to us. And that's another reason why, you know, like the fuck. Second Timothy, the fifth chapter, motherfucker. Since you don't want to come up, bitch. So like your First Timothy, the fifth chapter. Because this motherfucker don't want to come up. First Timothy 4. No. First Timothy 2. Uh, First Timothy 2, verse 15. Well, that's just gonna be another part. Like I said, women being saved through childbearing. And then also, bro, we're gonna have to repopulate the earth. It's just a natural women have a natural uh and they don't want to, they're not gonna admit this. Well, some of them will, but they're not gonna admit this. Most of them. They have a natural attraction to men who get women, you know? They have a natural attraction to men who are, as they like to call it, naturally selected. The alpha, well, not the alpha man, but the sigma man, right? Because the sigma man, if you really know between the difference between an alpha and a sigma man, you would know the difference. Is the sigma man is the superior, he's the superior. He doesn't look for attention. It's the lone wolf, the leader of the pack. That's the sigma man. But they naturally attract to you, bro. You know, they attract to your ass like a what A boss said. I was around my nuts like gnats. Real dogs don't pay for cat. But missed that second line, of course. I'm talking about the first one. But they naturally attract to you, bro, like a moth to light. That's what my point is. They like that shit, bro, because it's in their biology to like it, to choose the man that is selected. You don't want no weak ass dude, no simp ass nigga. No nigga that's not gonna check your ass and tell your ass what it is, right? But yeah, man. That's another part of growing and being a man. I don't feel like I done talk forever. I ain't gonna lie. For 27 minutes, I'm about to stop right here, Lord willing, and add on to it. I just want this to say about sure.